Hey Johnny, hope you're doing good. Hope you're staying cool. It's freaking hot out here today. So I wanted to show you, every time we do a project, we're going to be having code, and the best way to pass it around uh, is on GitHub. Certain projects will just work directly on a website, but most things we do a repository on GitHub. So a repository is basically like a folder that keeps a bunch of code and these graphs. So Git is a version control system. So it actually keeps track of, I think I explained this before, but I'm just going to do a quickie right now. So you make a commit. Every time you make some changes to a code base, you make a commit, and that commit is the changes, right? So add new link feature. Aaron committed that code 3 days ago. You don't need to know all of this, but I want to get you an idea of what Git is all about. So it actually allows us to see, okay, he added this line. I think he removed those, added those lines, removed that, right? It's pretty neat for tracking who did what on a code base. Also for a single person, what day you did this or that. And it's basically a time machine for code, but it's also a great way to share code. So Aaron is working on a new project and asked me to make a repository, which I do usually for every project. So github.com/sitebuilderstudio. I can send you this link. Then we go to repositories, which is just this URL. I'm not sure if you can see that, but anyways, the main Site Builder Studio page on GitHub is the repositories list. Just go new. We're going to call this one insurance. We'll just do a dash. Insurance app. We don't need a description, doesn't matter. Private, we do all our stuff private. Someday we might do a public repo. I mean, I have a couple, but long story anyways. Add get ignore. Sure, choose a license, none of this stuff matters. We just care that it's private, right? And that it has a name that we can, usually I try to make every project have one name that I use for the repo, for my notes, for everything. So now this is created. This stuff is if you are gonna get going with the repo, but here's protocol for project management. After you create a new repo, go to settings, and you can see we're in this repo here right now, Site Builder Studio /insurance app. So you go to settings, you go to collaborators and teams, gotta enter your password again, and I've got to add you with superpowers. I hope GitHub lets me add you with superpowers. And it says haven't added any teams of people. You click add people, and you enter a username or an email or a full name. This is kind of annoying because it doesn't check people you've already worked with, right? But one way to do it, so oftentimes I go and ask people, hey, what's your GitHub username or GitHub email or whatever. But you can, if it's people we've already worked with before, you can hop over to a repo that they've been on. You can click their face over here in contributors. That will open up their GitHub profile, and this should be their GitHub username. This is their full name. This is their GitHub email, right? So we can grab any of those. I'll just go ahead and grab this one. Should work. Manage access. Add people. Paste his name in. There, it found him. Aaron in particular, we want to give him maintenance, which means, I mean, he could have admin. I don't care. I totally trust him, but I usually do maintainer because they can't destroy it at that point. Anyways, add Aaron, and that's how to create a repo and add a person. Just in time for my 5 minutes. So I got that one done. In the future, maybe we can do it together, but it'd be sweet if you adopted that part of the process for project management. That's part of managing a project.